Let's get to work.
Hello. So, today on IO Reviews, we're going to be reviewing Hidden Figures, the based off true events movie about space and math. Which means I automatically should have hated this movie. But I didn't. Maybe it's because of how politically charged everything is at the moment, and how semi-racist everything is at the moment. But I really did enjoy this movie. Made you feel all good. Had a nice message. It was nice. The one thing I am worried about when it comes to Hidden Figures is that it won't do well, because January movies tend to just not do well. And I don't know why that is. And it's so insane because this January has so many good movies. I'm gonna get to as many of them as possible. And we'll talk about that later. But for right now, we gotta talk about Hidden Figures, because Hidden Figures was an amazing movie. So, back to Hidden Figures. The story takes place, really centers on Katherine Johnson, who goes through most of the movie as Catherine Gobler? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right at all, and I'm so sorry if I'm not. As she's just trying to find the math to figure out how to get John Glenn into space. And all she has to do is, fight years of racism and sexism and just stuff that we can't relate to in today's time at all, in the slightest. The movie really shows that how, in a way, if we ever want to progress, we have to overcome our natural, and when I say natural, I mean completely unnatural and completely biased, rampant sexism and racism. Catherine's character is very much the heart of the movie, but the soul of the movie easily goes to one Mary Jackson. She is so funny. Oh, and I'm gonna actually call her by her actress name because that's the thing. Mary Johnson, played by Janelle Monáe. Again, if I'm getting any of these names wrong, I'm so sorry. Feel free to execution style my ass in the comments down below, which I'm sure you will. And it's just really, and her performance is just so fun and so good. She gives a lot of levity to some of the really tense and awkwardness that happens when talking about this time. The other thing that the movie does really well is that it gives a very modern day look at the time. Every time racism is kind of just like, racism is brought up for racism's sake in a way. It's treated very much in a way like, are you kidding me? And in most movies that would be an issue, but when you have these characters who are legitimately geniuses and are being stopped from doing some good, purely based on the color of their skin, it's warranted, and it's interesting how it works, how the dynamic works. My one main critique of the movie that just didn't really work for me is how much Octavia Spencer's character, Dorothy, is kind of just there for a large part of the movie. She has her own story and it's inspiring, but a large part of her part in the movie is her kind of just being there and trying to figure out how to become a supervisor, which I understand for the time and for her personally, it was a very big deal to become a supervisor. However, when you're given the stories of both Mary and Catherine, it just kind of falls flat. Mary Jackson has this whole thing where she wants to become the first African American female engineer for NASA, and it's a very like inspiring thing, especially when she starts going into, she's in a courtroom and she has this whole monologue about being first, and it's a very powerful moment. And then you have Catherine, who has this very powerful bathroom monologue, which sent chills down my spine and my friend who was watching the movie with me. And then you have Dorothy, who's kind of just, she doesn't really have an awesome monologue. She doesn't really have anything. She has like a line that kind of just shows off her badassery, and it's the line of, I know you think you don't, but you do. And it's giving a response to this one white character saying, you know, I don't have a problem with you. Like, there is no problem here. I don't have a problem with you. And it's a very powerful line that's given. And honestly, I feel like, if anything, that is a line that like closely connects like the modern age of racism and their age of racism. Is like, oh, I know you think you don't, but you do. It was just really powerful how it was given. The movie ends on a really happy note, and it sends chills on your spine. And it's a very feel-good movie, especially when you kind of go through all the shit that it took to get there. And the movie is very open about how much shit they had to get there too. I think Jim Parsons as an antagonist is very smart. Jim Parsons kind of plays Jim Parsons again. And his performance is solid, but it's the same performance he gives on Big Bang Theory, essentially, except just more blatant racism. But I do think people should see this movie. I think it was very good. I found it very interesting, and it should definitely be something that you should be wanting to go see. I do see and recognize that being what it is as this very, I'd say almost Oscar baity movie, it's not gonna really get the love that it deserves from the casual movie goer, and that is a shame. That is part of the reason why I wanted to review it, is because I wanted to kind of bring that to us. Especially because I know the juxtaposition is super strange. I'm playing a Call of Duty game and talking about Hidden Figures. It's very weird. But that's why I wanted to do it. Because for the more casual moviegoer who's like, oh, I only see like 6 or so movies, this is going to be a movie you miss, and I don't think that should be the case. I personally really enjoyed it, and I know my friend who was with me really enjoyed it as well. And she's a hard nut to crack. She does not enjoy things. But this was a really great movie. All overall, I think you should go see this movie. I think you should just go enjoy it and like acknowledge the fact that we have come so far, and yet we've gone absolutely nowhere at the same time. And that's I feel like the movie really shows that off so well. The other thing the movie really shows off really well is the fact that like the technology that they got to the moon with, that they got to space with, was kind of shitty. Not gonna lie, it was kind of shitty tech, and they got to space with it, which kind of just begs the age-old question: why aren't we living on Mars with like space rover dogs? I feel like that should be a thing. But honestly, this movie, it tells a beautiful message. It tells a beautiful message. It gives a really like lightheartedness to its tense and dark subject matter, and it kind of re-inspites my interest in space travel. Oh god, because I don't know what child didn't want to be an astronaut when they were growing up. So definitely a really fun, great movie. And unfortunately, it's definitely going to be a movie that's going to be underrated when it comes to everything else that it's all the superhero movies that are coming out this year. So, all in all, go see this movie. Enjoy this movie. Bring your racist friends to go see it. I think that'd be super great and super awkward. So, there's that. And, and that's gonna be it for this review. Thank you guys for watching. If you saw Hidden Figures, I want to know what you thought in the comments down below. And if there's any movie you want me to see next, tell me about it. Typically there's not a lot of big movies that come out in January, yet January has already set out pretty strong. Next week I'm also going to be reviewing stuff from this week just because there was so much of it. And I'm excited for this year. If January is any indicator for movies and TV and video games, this is going to be a massive year. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.